Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Audio bandwidth for the Daily Gizwiz is provided by AOL Music and Spinner.com, where you can get free MP3s, exclusive interviews, and more. Video bandwidth for the Daily Gizwiz is provided by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com. It's time for the Daily Gizwiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1057 for Tuesday, March 30th, 2010, the ASUS Seashell 1201N.
And now, get ready for Dick.
Hey, it's Dick DeBartolo, Mad's maddest writer, and the Gizwiz. One day of the week, just one day, we get a piece of crap. But today, I think it's going to be a different Turn the Table Tuesday.
Leon looks under his desk to find some crap to share. Dick says that's historical way. It's Turn the Table Tuesday.
Hello, Dick. How are you? How are you? How are you? Good to see you once again, my friend.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very, very excited. I'm anxious to continue my streak, my winning streak, the greatest gadgets ever made.
Well, I wouldn't go crazy,
The
but
best stuff you've ever seen on the Turn the Table Tuesday.
well, the past couple of weeks, the stuff has been pretty good.
Such good gadgets, you won't believe they come from the mind of Leo. They're that good. And today, again, another great gadget.
Yes.
This is, I've reviewed in the past notebook computers and netbook computers, and I'm always looking at netbooks because they're so inexpensive, and I think a lot of people are buying them. But you make a compromise when you buy a netbook. The netbooks are the little 3-pound, sub $500 computers, sometimes much sub $500 computers. My VP Finance, Lisa, just bought a $250 Toshiba netbook. She loves it.
Wow. Yeah.
Really inexpensive. But what you get what you pay for, and a lot of times the fit and finish is a little cheesy, or maybe the mouse pad is, or
It has no screen.
It has no screen at all, which makes it hard to use.
Or no keyboard.
No keyboard.
But yeah,
Or it's just completely transparent. It's as thin as air. But ASUS, who created this category with the first EPC, and I have the first. Yeah, in fact, I got it right here.
The first one that they ever made, you got?
Yeah. It's not my gadget. Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, okay.
I know you want me to have something crappy, but this is the original, the ASUS Eee PC. It has a 7-inch screen. It was a really tiny little screen, hardly usable.
The keyboards were really a joke.
Really small, squunched keyboards. But even this little kind of, not such a great device sold so well that ASUS and all the other manufacturers said, we got something here. These are the best-selling computers of 2009. So they kept designing them, and they kept updating them. And ASUS has come back now with let me actually put these side by side, and you can kind of see how they've changed. In my left hand, the ASUS 7-inch Eee PC from a couple of years ago, and this is this is my gadget of the day, brand new from ASUS. It's the ASUS Eee PC Seashell. And you can see, first of all, the keyboard is full-size, chiclet-style keyboard like on the Apples. The screen now no longer 7 inches, is now 12.1 inches. In terms of weight, they're very similar, actually. This is just under 3 pounds. It is very thin. In fact, it's much thinner than the original Eee PC. But here's the thing for me that was really a selling point. This has a graphics system from NVIDIA called the Ion. That means that you can actually play back high-definition video on this thing. It's got an it's got an HDMI port, so you could hook it up to a TV set. All the other features that you'd expect in a netbook, including a camera, built-in microphone. Not the best camera you ever saw, a microphone.
Is it still using the Atom processor?
It is a dual-core Atom. It's the latest Atom processor, still at 1.6 gigahertz, but 2 cores, so it's a little faster than it was.
Yeah.
And as a result of all of that, the battery life is not, it's not much improved. It's about 4 to 5 hours, depending on how heavily you're using it. But that's enough for me. I would, they have them now with 10-hour batteries, and I would certainly enjoy that. But given the extra power, it's worth it. This thing is very usable. Now, the price is
Nice.
also a little bit higher. $500 list. You can get it for about $450 if you shop around. But still, for $500, you get a very credible computer. This is a high-resolution screen. As I said, 12.1 inches. And I think as I remember, the resolution is something like 1200 by 768. So it's tall enough to show, the full web page you'd expect.
Yeah.
And it's wide enough to show video. It's a 16 by 9 screen. Glossy LED backlit. It's really quite a beautiful screen. I'm actually very happy with the quality of this screen. Really very nice keys as well.
Is that aluminum? I can't. The case.
It looks
itself?
like brushed aluminum. It's plastic. I mean, they're for this price, you're not.
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get-
okay.
You're not going to get an iBook.
It's a great looking machine.
But it is a really nice looking machine, very thin, very lightweight, and most importantly, very usable. At this point, you're no longer really talking netbooks. This is a notebook computer with much of the power of a notebook. Not quite the full speed of a Core 2 processor, or let alone the i3, 5, and 7 that Intel's now selling, which really are much more powerful chips. But it's got enough power, especially because of the graphics subsystem, to play back high def video, which is really exciting.
And Leo, do you know how big the hard drive is?
Well, this is a funny thing. They sell it with a 750 gig storage, but it's really only a 250 gig hard drive and then a free subscription to ASUS's 500 gigabyte hard drive in the sky. So
Are you serious?
it's kind of a
that's
lie,
very fun.
But I have to say, I mean, this original 7-inch ASUS Eee PC, I think had 4 or 8 gigabytes of flash storage. This actually has a spinning hard drive, 250 gig hard drive. That's a lot of storage.
Yeah,
this
that's-
is a fairly competent notebook computer.
Yeah, and a
Good-
gigabyte of RAM.
2
Or
gigs of RAM.
2. Okay, that's
gigs
pretty
of RAM.
nice.
So this is pretty nice. I have to say. I mean, it's the same price as an iPad. And by the way, in a couple of weeks, I'll probably be doing the iPad for Turn the Table Tuesday because April 3rd, the iPad comes out.
How many did you buy?
How many? 4.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't
I
get
got an email I was going to forward to you, but I have an idea it's a scam because it said if you're a school or an educational institution, there is a 10 iPad package. But I have an idea that the guy was just going to keep the money because it didn't look very official.
Yeah, I don't know. Apple's limiting you to 2 at a time. So I bought 2 and Lisa bought 2 for the company. We're going to give 2 away, I mean, actually probably more than that. So we're going to we did this little deal where we picked at random a person on Twitter and got everybody to follow her. She was brand new.
Oh, the woman in Australia.
New Zealand, yeah. Lisa Tickled
New
Pink.
Zealand, right.
Lisa Tickled Pink. So she's going to get an iPad and then a random follower of hers on Twitter.
But you know what? Isn't she the one that said, I hate technology?
That was why we picked her.
Why don't you just send her that cardboard thing
She'll never know.
that Andy Anako had?
Yeah. Unfortunately, she no longer hates technology.
Oh. So you created another
A
monster.
monster. Oh, well. But no, she's actually very nice lady. I really like her. And she's a university student. She's very game considering we sprung this on her without asking her. So that's 2 down. And then I want to give one to Houdini 7, who's in our chat room. He's the guy who designed our Twit iPhone application. I know you've seen that, right? That allows
I
you
have
to.
not.
Well, you don't have an iPhone.
No, that's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Are you going to get an iPad?
No.
You're
I'm
not.
not going to get, just because I want to be different, I refuse to get anything that has an I in it. I bought a new laptop that has no I key.
Wow. You really do want to be different.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
So this is the Twit application. It'll play back the audio automatically over the internet. It's got a calendar so you know what show you're watching. But you can also press the play video button and it will start playing the streamed video of our shows, which is kind of cool on the iPhone. So you can watch our shows live on the iPhone. There's you and me.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
It's so funny that I have no mustache on the iPhone.
Well,
now. I guess it's
there's no room.
It's in bay. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. You can also watch the chat room or participate even. There's enough room to participate. We'll log into the chat room here.
Wow.
Yeah, they did a Houdini 7. So I thought he did such a nice job, and he's making
you're a
it.
kind man.
Well, he's making an iPad version. So I thought, well, he's going to need to test it on the iPad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send him an iPad. So that's 3. I want to keep 1, so that's 4. Then I wanted 1 for the staff, so that's 5. I don't know, Dick. There's just not enough iPads to go around. Just not enough iPads to go around.
You really are in the right occupation.
Yeah,
You love your- you love
otherwise,
your
I'd
stuff.
imagine how it would be if I were a civilian.
Imagine if you were like that lady and hated technology.
Oh, trouble.
This would be a terrible. This would be the worst
Trouble.
job that you could imagine.
Yeah. So I have gone through a lot of netbooks. I've shown you. I've talked about the ASUS, original ASUS Eee PC. on
Tell me
show.
the model number, Leo, for my notes.
This is the ASUS Seashell 1201N.
Okay.
Amazon has it. A lot of other people have it. List is $499. I've seen it for as low as $468 on the internet.
Wow.
The ASUS or ASUS.
ASUS it is.
ASUS. Seashell. They call it that because it's so thin. 1201N. Comes, by the way, with the Windows 7. You know, almost all these netbooks used to come with XP or Linux. The original ASUS came with Linux. So that's pretty
nice.
Cool. Yeah. Windows 7. Let me see what version. It's not
When you
even,
hold it up to your ear, do you hear the ocean? You do. Oh, you do.
well, that's because I have an Ocean application running on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm out of curiosity. Let me see what version.
Is it Windows Starter?
No, I don't think it is. That's why I'm
that's
checking.
good because Windows Starter is.
It's kind of limited, and I wouldn't want that. I think this is, it's Windows 7 Home Premium of all things.
Well, that's very good.
This is for this is really not a netbook anymore. That's a notebook computer. The only negative is that the touchpad isn't really. It's the same material as the rest of the wrist rest, but they put some raised bumps on it so you know where it is. And then, as with all netbooks, instead of having two buttons, you rock a single button left or right for left click or right click.
You
I'm
could
not crazy about
always
that.
buy a wrist rug.
We had that last week. What I do recommend people do is buy a standalone mouse like the MX70, where we've talked about before. It's a much better way to do a notebook computer than these trackpads. Well, there you have it, Dick.
I like it. I like it. I
That's
see
my
no
pick.
hate mail coming this week. It's going to be a terribly dull week. For me.
Dang.
Here come the letters, those lovely letters. Here come the Gizwiz letters. Now.
And now a letter from the GizWiz mailbag. By the way, I should say, if you go and look on Amazon, at least as I'm looking right now, it says out of stock. It did when I ordered the ASUS 1201N, and yet they delivered it like 3 days later.
Oh,
so obviously
okay.
they get new stock in all the time. This comes
do you
from,
have a letter?
Yes, I do. From Daryl.
Oh, good.
Daryl, the guy who drove the Tesla Roadster up to visit us. Daryl Holmquist in San Jose. Remember Daryl and his wife?
Oh, what are you kidding? That was one of the best rides.
Oh,
He took
that's great.
everybody for a ride. That was super.
Well, it's only $1,000 a ride. That was a good deal. It's got to pay for the Tesla, right? Let's see. Oh, somebody just pasted in all of the. I'll give Tone some credit. He pasted in all the stats for the EPC dual core Intel Atom N330, 1.6 gigahertz, 12.1 inch WXGA LCD. That means it's 1280 by 768. 2 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM, upgradable to 8 gigabytes.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. 250 gig hard drive, 802.11n Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, HDMI, VGA webcam, and card reader. Comes bundled with inner sleeve and pre-installed with Windows 7 Home Premium. And Newegg does have it in stock.
That's very nice.
Yeah. That's what Mike Petroff said. He's sitting
Very
right
nice.
over there. He said, that's very nice.
8 gigs. Wow.
It's very nice, Leo. Which might be why it's gone from my desk. Where did it go? Get that, man! I
Get
got an
that.
email,
Stop Dane.
as I said, from Daryl, Tesla Roadster Boy Holmquist. Leo, you're trying to remember the name of a military maintenance process that was similar to the process you told Dick to use on his failing microphone. Hit it! Hit it hard! That's what I said.
You did.
He says, I don't know.
I did.
Yes, and it worked.
Yeah, worked fine.
He says, I don't know if this is the term you were thinking about, but in my Air Force days, we often talked about using the Brogan maintenance process, BMP. As you know, a brogan is a thick, heavy shoe. We often wore such footwear in the military. When we were particularly frustrated with a broken gadget created by the lowest bidder, we either kick the item with our shoe or actually take off the shoe and use it to pound the broken item. It didn't help repair anything, but it did relieve stress. That's the brogan maintenance process. See, I knew that.
You did.
I knew
And
that.
you knew how to apply it, too.
Yes.
But I don't think it applies to people, even though you insist it does.
And then you sent along to me an email from Steve. I might as well use this one because we were talking about what was it? The Upchuck egg separator?
Yes. The Upchuck egg separator.
Steve L. from South Jersey said, I was just listening to the GizWiz. Yes, I'm behind about the Upchuck egg separator. It reminded me of an episode of The Screensavers. Martin Sargent was demoing a similar egg separator from Think Geek. It was a ceramic head, much like the Upchuck, except the egg white ran out of the head's nostrils instead of its mouth. I'm not sure which is grosser. During the demo, the camera cut to Megan Maroney, who was pregnant at the time, and she looked really green around the gills at the sight of the ceramic head with egg white dripping out of its nose. Good times, good times. By the way, maybe you would have liked the Upchuck better, Dick, if Leo had told you it was powered by forces discovered by Isaac Newton himself.
Oh, Isaac Newton.
Yes.
I love his cookies.
Yes. Dick, thank you, Steve, for that, and Daryl for your email, and thank you, Dick, for putting up once again with me. We will.
No, this is not putting up. This was not putting up.
I have to say, this is the first netbook where I really feel like I've made no compromises on this thing. It's just really great.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that this show is supposed to be, and it
But
only
never
took
has been.
1,056 episodes to get in that neighborhood.
That's something. Dick, I will see you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
DAIL. Why? It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz.
It makes its own gravy.
Yeah.